Welcome to the Piston Fanatic. I'm your host, Dave Dalton, and I'm excited to share my passion and perspective of our Detroit Pistons as we go on this fantastic voyage together. I've been a diehard Piston fan since the days of Dave Bing and Bob Lanier, and that's over 55 years. And in my fandom of the Pistons, I have never seen anything like this. This is so unreal. Our Pistons beat the Sixers in NBA Cup play, 114-109, without our three best players, arguably. Cade, Duren, and Ausar didn't play. And Tobias, our fourth starter, and we win the game. And it's crazy the way these guys have scrapped and clawed and fought and battled. It's unreal. And 11-2, 9 in a row. And of course, the fourth quarter, what do? We hold them down to 15 points in the fourth quarter. And, they have firepower. They have Maxey and VJ Umchcombe, and they are a tough team, and I don't know. I just can't believe what I'm seeing. I just can't believe it. And you just keep on waiting for, even during this game, we get off to a good start, and you just think, oh, here they come, and it's not, we were down by 12, and I thought, oh well, here we go, and then all of a sudden, then we're up by 9, and then they go on a 19-2 run. And oh no, here we go. And then we go on a 19-7 run. And so it's just incredible. And then at the end of the third quarter, Daniiss Jenkins, from over half court, and he was in his zone. He was in his zone. If you watch Whiteman Can't Jump, he was in his zone like Woody was. But anyway, he got interviewed after the game, and he said, when I step between the lines, all bets are off. He said, I just get competing. So, yeah, it was funny. He was talking crap with Maxey and not backing down, not afraid of him. He doesn't care who he is. And so it was really just special. And, yeah, here's what I'm going to say. Detroit basketball. And, by now, maybe you could say you get lucky once in a while here and there, but it is a culture thing. It is a thing we saw last year. We didn't have all these injuries. We were virtually injury-free. And I said when this year started, I said, watch out, because we were pretty lucky last year. We lost Ivy for a long time, and that's not good luck. But a lot of teams lose a lot of players. But hardly nobody loses, 4 starters like we have, and 5 starters, or 5 or 7. We had 7 rotation players out at times, but everybody steps in, and it's been something that was started last year that JB started getting incorporated into the culture of this team. It's the guys that we have on the team that all bought into it, and it's just they just keep on doing it. They just keep on fighting. They keep on scrapping. Last year we saw it. No matter how far we got behind, we were going to come back, and we just see it again in all these games, and it's just as remarkable. And these games are big. We're 11-2. If we, I didn't do the math, but we're still gonna. If we go 500 the rest of the year, which we're not going to, we're gonna have a good record. When you get off to that good a start, it matters. And so, of course, we still are in line. At the Magic, I think they're 2-0 for the Cup. I'm going to the game the 28th, Black Friday. Hopefully it's Black Friday for the Magic. They're coming to Detroit to play in the last Cup game. So we got one more Cup game, and then we're going to be off to the races. So it's it's been fun. It's been so much fun. I feel bad. I had one of my best friends took his kids down to watch the Pistons play, and we're looking. And yesterday we're looking at the injury updates, and said that Cade and Duren and Ausar were game time decisions, and Stu and then Stu played tonight, which was really mattered and really helped. But yeah, yesterday or this afternoon, Frank Isola and Brian Scalabrine, they're on the starting lineup that's on Sirius Radio, and it's also on NBA Today in the morning. And they're saying that the NBA needed to, they ended up showing, I forget what it was on Peacock or Prime or whatever. They had the Knicks and the Heat, and the Knicks and the Heat are both missing some players. And Frank Isola said, they need to switch that game out and show the Pistons and the Sixers. Cade Cunningham against Tyrese Maxey. He said, I'm watching that game. And Brian Scalabrine said, I'm going to be watching that game too. But Cade didn't even play, and still, what a game. We are the talk of the league, and it is so much fun. But I just point this out. Not that I'm comparing us to Oklahoma City, but Oklahoma City and Detroit have the two best records in the league. And Oklahoma City, they do this all the time. They just play. It doesn't matter who's hurt. So their second best player has missed the whole year, and they've lost one game that they should never even lost. And in that game, they were playing without J-Dub and without Chet, and Lou Dort didn't play, and Lou Dort didn't play recently, and they just keep on winning too. And just different guys just step up and come out of nowhere. A.J. Mitchell and lots of guys they've had step up. Isaiah Joe, player after player. Wiggins, they just keep on finding players, and they're part of the culture. They've been training with them, and it's just happening for us too. So every player that gets interviewed just said, "We're dogs. We're nasty dogs." They're just, gives me it tickles me because they bought in. They really see themselves, and we are to some degree who we see ourselves as. And this is something that's perpetuating itself, and I don't see why it can't carry on. Because, again, it's not just this year. We saw this last year, but not without missing all these players. So, yeah, tonight, 7 players in double figures, and Holland had 9. So we were 1 point away from having 8 players in double figures, 32 assists. I mean, that's huge. We didn't shoot the ball amazingly well. We just fought and scrapped and, shut them down in the fourth quarter. So, yeah, it was really cool. That half-court shot by Daniiss, it was really something. he was in the heads of those Sixers players, I guarantee it. And Maxey was really awesome. I mean, he had 31 points. It seemed like there were stretches where he just drove and scored every time. But he finished 13 for 31. That is not good, folks. He was 2 for 11 on threes. That is not good. It's deceptive. I guess Cade scored 45 points but took 45 shots. So it's, that's not necessarily means you had a good night. But I'm going to tell you, I do feel, though, one thing I just hope, I still have all the faith in the world in Ron, but I'm telling you, Ron has shot terrible the last 5 games. He is shooting like, I got to do the math, but I think it's 33% or less. Tonight he was 4 for 15. So he just is in his own head. And it's weird that we win these games when you thought that all those other guys that we counted on were out, and we just think Ron was just going to step into the role, and when he gets more responsibility that he would play better, but he has really struggled. He's still out there fighting, but he still just can't make shots, and he was 0 for 3 from 3, and he had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and 3 turnovers in 24 minutes. That's not great. Green, so I've been can't hardly say anything negative about any of our Pistons, and I know if you watch my podcast, I'm not a huge fan of Javonte Green. I'm a fan. I'm a complete fan about how hard he plays and how hard he works and how hard he scraps. But he scored 21 tonight. He was our leading scorer, but he did not shoot good. I mean, he was 5 for 12. That's like 40%, and he was 3 for 9, and everybody knows that's 33% from 3. So that's not great. He was 8 for 9 on free throws, but he does, he's been blocking shots. He had 9 rebounds, and this dude is like 6'4", 6'5", and he's getting like 9 rebounds, and we need him. And he had 3 assists and 1 steal and 2 blocks. And he's not that tall, but he's tough, and so he's made a big difference. B-Ball Paul only played 25 minutes. I'm not positive why. Maybe I guess because Stu's back. I don't know that we could have probably tried playing them both together, but he played 25 minutes, 5 for 9, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and 10 points. And of course, I've been a little bit hard on Duncan Robinson, but I'm going to tell you tonight he was scrapping. He's played games before where I say he plays matador defense. His guys just blow by him, and then he reaches and grabs him and fouls him. And tonight he was rotating. He was helping and recovering. He was going after the ball. I thought he played even way harder and better, tougher defense than he did last game. But he Played 31 minutes. He was 5 for 12, which is not good. But he was 3 for 6 on threes, which was really good. So 2 for 3 from the line, 6 rebounds. And he's not a big, tough, strong guy, but he got 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and he got a block. So 15 points. Daniiss, the nasty dog. He's 35 minutes, and he didn't shoot great. He was 6 for 15, but he was 5 for 8 on threes, including that half quarter. And he made tough threes. His shot's legit. There's nothing lucky about his shot. He can replicate that thing. He was 2 for 2 from the line. 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, and only 2 turnovers running the show. And against their speed, I was concerned how we were going to guard Edgecombe. Edgecombe, I didn't write it down. He was like 4 for 8 on threes. He didn't shoot that much for twos, but his 3-point shot, that he's going to be a really great player for years to come. But Chaz Lanier, played 19 minutes. He was 2 for 6, and naturally all of his shots were threes. But he was plus 19. He had the second highest plus minus on our team, but he had, in his only 19 minutes, he had 4 rebounds and 4 assists. That's awesome in 19 minutes when you're not the prime ball handler. So Stu, only 23 minutes coming back, but he was in full force, 6 for 11, 1 for 3 on threes, 1 for 1 from the line, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, 14 points. He was tough. LeVert has been playing. I was concerned. Years in the past, I wasn't fond of LeVert. I thought he played better last year, and so I was cautiously optimistic, but he has played well lately, really well, and he's played the last game and tonight he played really great. He was in only 23 minutes. He was 5 for 8, 3 for 4 on threes. He's on fire from 3, and he made a really tough contested one tonight, but he's 1 for 2 on free throws, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. He was dishing the ball. He was making really great decisions. I really was excited about the way he was passing the ball and creating shots for his teammates. He had a block and 14 points. Clipman was 1 for 1 and even though he played just 5 minutes, Wendell Moore, he's another tough guy. He's a little bit like Javonte Green, 18 minutes, 2 for 3. 2 rebounds, 2 assists in 18 minutes, so that was good. But yeah, we shot 45%, 41% on threes, which was huge. He's having 17 threes. That was a big difference. Both teams, they let them play tonight. There was some bad officiating, in my opinion, but we got really screwed sometimes. Javonte Green got leveled sometimes, but we just had some really, really bad calls. I don't know, but both teams shot. We were 15 for 18, and they only were 13 for 15. So low number of free throws in the league. There's been so many free throws lately. But, we had 32 assists, like I said, and we had 9 steals and 7 blocks. That's a big number. Only 13 turnovers. That's awesome. So, Maxey played 40 minutes and didn't shoot that great. I'll tell you who's struggled some. Dennis Schroeder. He's had a game where he had like 0 points and 0 assists, or 2 assists and zeros across the board in like 20 minutes. So he is, I don't know if it's in his head because, they picked up some other players. Why can't I think of his name? Anyway, he's Mr. Triple Double, but he's playing, and I think he's taken over his role as the point guard, so he's really struggled. But Sadiq Bey has been playing great. Sadiq Bey was 8 for 16 the other day and had 25 points. And I always felt when he was with the Pistons, I was happy to see him go because he wanted a lot of money. But the last year he was with us, he decided he wasn't going to 3-point shooter. He thought he was going to be an all-around scorer. And he was taking forcing these shots, bad percentage shots, and he was shooting a bad percentage. He stopped shooting the 3. But anyway, we don't need to waste our time talking about him. So we just want to know that our guys are playing tough. And I forgot to write down what our upcoming schedule is, but we are flying high. Who knows when we're getting players back? I think they're all day today. But we play Philadelphia. So Monday we play Indiana. So here's a couple things. Monday we play Indiana, and Tuesday we play Atlanta. I heard before the season all these people talking about Oh yeah, Indiana. They might be missing Halliburton, but they got Carlisle is a great coach, and they got all these tough guys. Nemhart and those guys, and they are tough. But they lost Turner and Halliburton, and they're just and they've had some other injuries, but they are like 1-9 last time I checked. Atlanta, on the other hand, it stinks. We play them next. It says it's on NBC, but Atlanta, Jalen Johnson had this game unbelievable last night. He was like 31 points, like 17 rebounds and 14 assists and 7 steals. I don't know. Those I'm not accurate on those, but it's just one of the best box scores I've seen in a long time, and he's got a chance to be all NBA. And they're playing. Their record is so good without Trae Young. And that's scary for the future because they got a lot of other young guys stepping up, and they're probably going to get a top 5 pick next year because Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver gave them away their first round pick unprotected next year. So, and the Pelicans are doing terrible. So anyway, enjoy it. Enjoy the fantastic ride that we're on right now, and it's just fun, and just embrace it. And we're looking forward to Monday, and go Pistons.